yucky day today in Korea. It's just raining. But I'm happy to talk to you guys today. I want to share with you guys um, some experiences on how I've adjusted to Korea and some questions that I get asked very often about how I've adjusted to my life here in Korea. I've been living in Korea for 4 years now. I can't believe it. When I first came to Korea, I came here as a single person, and I lived here for 1 year as a single person, and then I got married, and so since then I've been staying in Korea. One of my most asked questions from people is, how have I adjusted, and did I experience any culture shock when I first came here? So the funny thing is, okay, I think he wants to go. Bye-bye. So the funny thing is, now I got cat hair all over me. I did not really experience culture shock when I first came here. Yeah, when I first came here, my mindset was, I'm not gonna be here for a very long time. So, I just kind of thought, okay, this is how they do it here. So I'm just gonna accept it, and I'll eventually go back home and I'll forget about it. So I didn't have those like, oh my god, what are they doing, or what's that moments. I didn't really experience those, to be honest. I would say that being single versus being married did feel different. When I was a single person, I just did what I did and just, whatever. But after getting married, I honestly did feel like it was my first time being in Korea because, my circumstances did change, and even the way others saw me, people who already knew me, kind of treated me a little differently and expected certain things from me, things that honestly I'm like, how am I supposed to know? So yeah, that was a little different, and it was a little bit hard, especially my first year of being married. Not because of my husband, he's wonderful, but just because, I did experience some lows during that time that I did feel quite a bit homesick, and yeah, it was a little hard. Another question that I get is, how did I adjust to the food? So I actually really like Korean food, but the funny thing is, when I first came to Korea, I knew absolutely nothing about Korea. I had seen a few dramas, heard a few things here and there. I had never been to Asia in my entire life, so I didn't know anything about Korea. The only thing Korean food that I had tried was Korean barbecue, and it was delicious. So that was my, extent, that was the knowledge that I had of Korean food, was just Korean barbecue. But I tried, sorry, I had something stuck in my teeth. I tried some other foods when I got here, of course, and I really like Korean food. Koreans eat a lot of rice, which is great for me because I'm Hispanic and we also eat a lot of rice. The difference with that rice just is they eat sticky rice and it's short grain, whereas I'm more used to a longer grain rice. But rice is rice, love rice. They eat kimchi a lot here. I had tasted kimchi before. It definitely tastes different in the US than it does here. I think it tastes better here. I think the kimchi that most of us in America know well is the cabbage kimchi. But I learned that after coming here that there are so many types of kimchis. I'm not a big fan of the cabbage type kimchi, but I do like other kinds of kimchi, one in particular called gakduhi, which is made with radish instead of cabbage, and I think that's just so delicious. It has a little bit of a sour taste and kind of crisp taste, and it has like a crunch when you bite into it, so I really enjoy that. They also make kimchi with like cucumber, which I think is really delicious, and there are just so many types of kimchi. I think there would have to be just a video in itself about all the types of kimchis there are, because the list could go on and on. Other foods that I like here are things like tteokbokki, which is rice cake mixed in a chili pepper paste like sauce, and they mix that all together and cook it up in a pan. It's very delicious. I really like it. I think it's an acquired taste because when I first came I wasn't really into it, but I started to like it and now I love it. So It's an acquired taste. Other foods that they have here, the kalbi, which is chicken with potatoes and cabbage, carrots, and they kind of stir fry it with chili paste. They use a lot of chili paste here. It's like their main seasoning. One food that I cannot eat and I cannot stand is called doenjanjjigae, which is a soup made out of a soybean paste. They put that paste in the soup, and that's like the main thing about it. They also put tofu in it and other things, and I really don't like that soup. As a joke with my husband, because he really likes that soup, I call it poop soup, because it smells to me like poop, and even the paste itself kind of looks like poop. No offense to anybody who likes that soup or to any Koreans, I don't like it. I can't. Yeah, so as far as food is concerned, I think, they eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of meats, a lot of rice, kimchi, and some of it's acquired taste, you get used to it. Also, after being here for a few years, you start to learn things, so I do, I am able to, get some things that are from home, either from my mom or from the store. Certain places sell certain things, or online, I might be able to get something. So you kind of learn your way around, and you learn the ways of, things work and how to get things. So it's definitely livable, I would say. And I'm still alive, so the food is pretty good, and, it's not bad. What else? Another question that I get asked often, the weather. Some people do ask me about that. Mostly because I'm from Florida originally, so as you know, we only have two types of weather, hot and hotter, with lots of rain. So here they have 4 seasons, and it can go from extremely hot to extremely cold. And when it's hot, it definitely does feel like Florida, very humid. But when it's cold, it's very, very cold. When I came here, I had absolutely no winter clothes. I did not own any long sleeves. I had no jackets. I had to buy everything from scratch. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but it was kind of fun because new wardrobe, and I think winter fashion is really cute anyway, so yeah. But the weather was a bit of adjustment, and then they have spring and fall, which are very beautiful, which we're in fall right now. So that time of the year can be really beautiful. It's just nice and cool and pretty sunny, and just makes you really happy. At least for me. Some other things that I've had to adjust here too. Transportation. Again, being from Florida, we drive. There are buses in Florida, but they're not very good and they're not reliable. I've ridden the bus once in my life there, and I will never do it again. But here the public transportation is very good. For example, where we live, the bus stop is literally just like a stone throws away from where we live. So, I can take the bus to anywhere that I need to go, and there are apps that you can download that, tell you the times of when the buses are coming and, where other bus stops are. There's also apps for taxis, so you can call or message a taxi and they'll come to you and pick you up. So it's very convenient. And in the bigger cities such as Seoul or Busan, they have subways. The city that we used to live in actually had a monorail, so it was just very convenient, and it was a monorail, like a subway but above ground. So the transportation here is very convenient and reliable. I feel like I'm a little scared to drive in Korea, although recently I just got a license here, but I don't actually really drive on a regular basis here, unless we're going long distance traveling. Highway is okay, but in the city it's kind of a little scary here. People don't really follow the rules. Also, I think once I got my visa here after getting married, you do get a lot of benefits. For example, health insurance. Everybody here has health insurance, so that's really just so amazing. You can go to the doctor whenever you need to, even if it's something as just a common cold, and it's just, they prescribe you medicine. It's not very expensive to get medicine, and even without insurance, it's not really that expensive. I actually did have an experience here after getting married. I didn't have my visa at the time, so I didn't have any insurance yet. But I had to go to the hospital and stay there, and without any insurance, it was still very cheap. I can share that story with you guys another time. If you would like to hear about it, please let me know. So, yeah, I feel like there are definitely lots of, benefits. And there are some differences here as well, living in Korea. For example, people do stare a lot if you're a foreigner. That just, you can't really do anything about it. It gets really frustrating and annoying, so you gotta kind of just learn to deal with it. People are very curious about foreigners and just, where are you from? And they're just so excited to see one or meet one or talk to one. So it can be frustrating at times. Some other things I kind of touched on it a little before is sometimes you just miss certain things and they just don't have them. Like, I usually miss a lot of, I like baking, so sometimes I want to bake certain desserts or things, but they don't really have, the Betty Crocker kind of, cake or cookie mixes here, They have their own version of it and it's just not good. Also, a lot of houses here don't have an oven. You actually, for example, we don't have an oven. We bought a toaster oven, about, medium size, at a secondhand store. That's how I bake. So, yeah, a lot of houses here don't have an oven. So that was kind of surprising and frustrating because I grew up with an oven in the house. So a lot of things that I didn't know how to make were in an oven, so it was kind of difficult at first. And like I mentioned, I love to bake, so that was also challenging. But I've learned to deal with it. What else? The funny thing is here, they have some fast food restaurants. So I'm not a big fast food lover. When I was in the US, I didn't eat fast food all the time. But there are certain moments where you're in a pinch or you just want like a fast food, kind of meal or snack. So the biggest fast food chains they have here is McDonald's and Burger King. I don't like Burger King, and I like McDonald's, but I don't want to eat McDonald's every single time. So that's kind of a little annoying or inconvenient at times, especially when you're in a hurry and you need something quick, They don't have like Chipotle here or Chick-fil-A. Or Panera. Oh my gosh, I miss Panera. So yeah, those are some things that can be difficult. And fast food here is not fast. They take way too long to give you your meal. Even something as simple as a milkshake. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. So yeah, those are some of my things that I wanted to share, how I've adjusted here. There's so much more that I want to share with you, and so many other topics that I would love to talk to you guys more about. And I would love to show you what my life is like here, take you with me in a day of my life, show you vlogs, or, show you just around where I live, my town, or share more stories with you or more experiences. And if you guys have any ideas or anything that you want to know or know more about Korea or about, what it's like to live here, please let me know, and I'd love to know your ideas so that I can make more videos for you guys, hopefully. So I really hope that you guys like this video. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye!